So as I would normally do, perusing the TSN page, Sportsnet page after work, and the Canucks have grabbed Reed Boucher off waivers. Now Boucher was waived not that long ago, a couple weeks ago, by the New Jersey Devils. He was picked up by Nashville, and then that didn't work. So Nashville waived him. Jersey gets him back. Jersey waives him again because there were multiple claims on Boucher when Nashville picked him up, and now Vancouver has him. Reed Boucher, for any Canuck fans watching this who may not know, a couple years ago, I had Hockey Magazine's telling me this kid was going to be a goal scorer. He was going to be top 6 in all likelihood, at the very least top 9. And it just hasn't worked out for him. And in a related story, the St. Louis Blues waived Rattie, and Rattie moves on to Carolina. Carolina picked him up. Rattie's an interesting one for me because I really thought that kid was going to be something. I was really surprised to see that he got waived, but it's that time of year when you go, you know what, we're halfway through the season and this guy is going to make it. So you try to sneak him through waivers, and sometimes they clear. Most of the times they don't. Not at this time of year. And then related, and I had to mention this, Anton Khudobin's put on waivers by Boston because apparently Zane McIntyre's going to be their backup because it doesn't matter. None of them are any good. The fact Zane McIntyre's past Malcolm Subban is a statement about Malcolm Subban's play, but I'll save that for another time. Rumor has it Khudobin may get claimed by Toronto or Edmonton. Khudobin is not very good. I'm just going to put that right out there. Khudobin is not playing well. He hasn't played well for the entire season, and he would not be a step up for Toronto or Edmonton. If Edmonton gives up on Gustafsson, I could see Boston taking Gustafsson back because he was better than Khudobin's been. So it's not a good thing. And I'm surprised to see the San Jose Sharks waiving Matt Nieto. And Nieto, I hope one of my teams picks him up. I like Nieto's speed. I like what Nieto brings to the game, and I think for San Jose, it's just a matter of just depth. There's so much depth in San Jose that a quality guy like Nieto just can get shunted aside. And I'm kind of hoping Boston puts in a claim. I don't see him clearing waivers. I'd be very surprised if Matt Nieto clears waivers. He is. I know his points can't be much to write home about, or San Jose wouldn't be waiving him. But I like him. I think he's a good player, and I say that as a guy who I can't stand San Jose, but Nieto has potential, and at the very least, he's a good complement to the bottom 6. I could see the Canucks putting in a claim. I could see Boucher getting waived to pick up Nieto if they didn't know Nieto was becoming available, because I would think Nieto would be a more NHL capable guy than Reed Boucher. None of these guys are going to make the difference as to whether or not you win the Stanley Cup, but it is interesting that just waivers become very active right now, and the claims will start. But I would definitely put in a claim for Nieto. I'd be interested to know what you guys think. Who, if any of these guys, do you think is going to come back to bite somebody in the ass? And waiver claims can come back and bite you. The most famous example was Steve Sullivan being waived by the Maple Leafs and ending up being a pretty good player where he ended up. Played pretty well for the Hawks. He played pretty well for the Predators. And he was a waiver wire pickup. So, and I remember Daniel Briere at one point was a waiver wire guy for Phoenix because Wayne Gretzky did. I believe it was Gretzky's call that Briere wasn't an NHL level player, and he went to Buffalo and he had a pretty decent next forever. Gretzky, I have great respect for Gretzky as a player, not a lot as a coach or an evaluator of talent. I just, I don't. And then you watch what Barry Melrose did with Steven Stamkos last time he had a shot at being a coach, and you realize maybe that's where Gretzky learned it from because Melrose thought Stamkos needed more time in juniors. And as soon as Tampa got rid of Melrose, suddenly Stamkos became Stamkos. So it is that time. So trades are imminent. Trades will start taking place. And another topic I want to cover in this video is the Ottawa Senators are in the midst of it's either 5 or 6 days off bye weeks. So the NHL's brought in bye weeks this year to um, accommodate players who played in the World Cup, and it's a congested schedule, and with it being as condensed as it is, they're throwing in bye weeks. I don't know. I guess we'll see how it works out. I mean, we've had points during almost any season where a team will have 3 or 4 days off, so changing that to 6 is going to be a challenge for some fans who love to have their hockey every other day. I mean, it could help with the health of players, but I guess we'll have to see. Like Ottawa just hit their bye week, and Ottawa, has a playoff spot right now, and watching teams behind them playing games and they can't play to stay ahead, it's got to be rough. So, um, bye weeks, I'm on the fence. I mean, if the NHL and the NHLPA negotiated it and the NHLPA wants it, who would I be to say that's a bad idea? Um, I think it's a good idea as long as it works, and it should. But I guess the Leafs have a bye week coming up next week as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how teams play coming out of the bye, because traditionally teams coming home from long road trips, there's a hard time being had, and I know in the playoffs, if your team sweeps in say round one, and you're playing a team that's played six, so they took 6 games to knock their opponent out, they may have got 3 days rest and you've had a full week. And very often the team with 3 days rest jumps on the team with a week's rest. And it can be really hard to recover. So could that happen with teams coming out of the bye weeks? Where, a team comes in and says, okay, Ottawa's coming off of a bye. They haven't played in about a week. Let's jump on them early. That's how I would coach it. Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, I'm going to be back with some more stuff later. I just wanted to touch on the waiver wire pickups right now and get that out of the way. Carolina, I could always use more depth. Vancouver, I'm not sure where Boucher slots in. Other than as the 13th forward, I don't know who he's replacing. I don't know if I don't see him as an upgrade over anything. It's another one of those weird moves by Benning. I look at the team they've got put together, and it's like, I'm not sure where he's going with the bottom 6. I think he has visions of rolling 4 skilled lines. I just don't think they have the manpower to make it work regularly. But again, let me know in the comments what you think. And if you're just browsing through, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. I will talk to you all again very, very soon.